So it looks like Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Peach Stews Williams, formerly Guobadia, had a major legal win against her estranged husband, Simon Guobadia. Well, apparently Simon has a response, and he says it wasn't exactly a legal win. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So you know the new season, Sweet 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta is looming. We just got the announcement that Real Housewives of Potomac will be premiering on Black Sundays, October 6th. So now people are wondering, so when can we expect Atlanta? I think probably at the top of 2025. But the biggest storyline and the biggest return has to be Porsha. And yesterday, everyone was responding to the news that Porsha had this major legal win. It looks like her prenuptial agreement will be upheld. Simon won't have access to her Atlanta contract or any of that stuff. Well, let me get into that before we get to Simon's response, because I've been so happy that Simon has not been on social media trolling Porsha. Sidebar, Simon, we did hear that his company had a judgment against them saying that they have to pay that private jet, nearly, $900,000 that was owed? I'm going to leave that alone because the more attention we give to Simon, the worse he gets. So, Simon, go pay your bills. So, People magazine writes this. They said Porsha Williams was awarded a big victory in her divorce from Simon Guobadia. In the latest ruling in the case, the court granted Williams her request to quash Guobadia's subpoena and request for a videotaped deposition of her employer, True Entertainment, along with a motion for a protective order. A judge also denied Guobadia's emergency motions regarding discovery and awarded Williams attorney's fees and expenses of litigation to be paid by Guobadia. The filing also pertains to their prenuptial agreement. According to the court docs, Guobadia, quote, argues the wife's desire to return to reality television or employment in future constitutes a non-disclosure of material fact and misrepresentation that renders the prenuptial agreement unenforceable. This is the whole reason why you get a prenuptial agreement, so you don't have these legal battles. But we know Simon is Simon, and Porsha, we don't feel bad for you because you saw how he treated his ex-wife, and we know she slept with the pool boy and had a whole baby, but that's besides the point.
Hell no.
Addressing Guobadia's claims that Williams agreed to be a stay-at-home mom and wife during their marriage and forego her own career, the court found them to be invalid. The court did not, quote, find merit in his argument, as the court finds that the wife has been a reality TV star for years, which was well known to husband at the time of negotiating the prenuptial agreement, and the husband nevertheless married wife with this knowledge. And she literally, first of all, she did Ultimate Girls Trip while they were married. And she literally said, who said that Porsha Williams was returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta, but Porsha Guobadia will be. So she was really coming into this as Simon's wife, which says to me at the time they both agreed that she would return. They said after starring on Bravo's Real Housewives of Atlanta from seasons 5 to 13, Williams left, as you know, in September of 2021, 4 months after they announced their engagement on May 2021. Earlier this year, it was announced that she would be returning for the upcoming 16th season. In the couple's prenuptial agreement, it states that its central purpose is to avoid contested and expensive litigation, including the costly and potentially intrusive discovery process if an event of dissolution occurs. So literally what he's doing now goes against why they signed this prenuptial agreement. And he thought he was a slick one. Simon thought he was the slick one. The ruling reads that the court finds it, quote, undisputed by both parties that the prenuptial agreement at issue in this case was negotiated by the parties with very competent lawyers over a year length of time. So they took their time with this prenuptial agreement and included the exchange of financial disclosures such that the issues of fraud, mistake, misrepresentation, and duress are clearly addressed in multiple provisions of the prenuptial agreement. Essentially, the crux of the husband's argument could have been explicitly contained within the four corners of the parties' prenuptial agreement, and it was not. It continued. This is a major victory, People writes, for the RHOA star, bringing her to the final step of the divorce proceedings. So by the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, she probably will be divorced. Once the couple's prenuptial agreement is officially upheld by the court, Williams will be awarded her legal expenses by Guobadia and walk away a single woman. Yay, Porsha. Twerk, twerk. Okay. Because the document specifies that serving, conducting, or attempting to serve or conduct any discovery whatsoever, either upon, toward the other party, or upon, toward any third party, including written discovery, taking depositions, and issuing subpoenas, violates the prenup. So all the antics that Simon has been trying to do legally, they're saying violates the prenuptial agreement that they had to avoid this type of behavior. Williams contested Guobadia's actions and the court ruled in her favor. Williams filed for divorce, as you know, back in February after 15 months of marriage, and also saying be his peace on social media. A source told People the split was due to an ongoing matter. Williams listed their marriage as irretrievably broken. The two began the back and forth filing after disagreeing over the validity of their prenup, the occupancy of their marital home, and Williams' financial standing, given her recent scripted development deal with NBC Universal, were also points of contention. In the midst of the legal battle, the reality TV personality slammed Simon Guobadia for making, quote, false statements and allegations that are intentionally misrepresenting the reality of the situation. Well, of course, Simon being Simon had a response on social media that I believe he's since deleted. But shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk that grabbed the screenshots. So he posted the People magazine article. And I will say, and we've said this countless times because, we're fair here. We're not going to, twerk on the fence with this. People magazine has always been used as a representation or an outlet utilized by Bravo and NBC Universal. That's why you see them get the exclusives all the time and the, whatever. So he reposts this and in the caption says, when is People magazine going to realize that they are being used as a propaganda machine to propagate lies? Here is an excerpt to the Fulton County judge's order. This matter is headed to the appellate court level, and a major publication like People magazine is being used to propagate lies. A win is a stretch, shaking my damn head. He then highlights a portion of what was said in the court. But before we get to the portion that he highlighted, let's read what this particular page says. The court further finds that given husband is the party that adamantly contends he requested discovery, wife nevertheless was the party to take initiative in drafting a proposed confidential order. Following the discovery conference on August 9th of 2024, this court advised that the parties that it would be disappointed if the parties had not executed the confidentiality order prior to the motions hearing scheduled for August 21st, 2024. It wasn't until August 20th of 2024, after prompting by wife, the husband complied and signed the agreement to maintain confidentiality so that the parties could exchange their Fulton County mandatory discovery. The court finds that there is no evidence that the wife engaged in any willful conduct in the violation of this court's standing order, and further finds that there's no evidence to substantiate the wife acted in bad faith during this discovery process or in contempt of this court's standing order. On the contrary, the court has concerns that the husband is not using the discovery process in good faith, but instead is using the discovery process as it means to harass and intimidate wife by inundating her with frivolous, abusive discovery requests that were not reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence. This might be the part of the reason why Simon Guobadia decided to delete this off of his page, because it did not make him look great. But we will read the part that he highlighted. He says, under attorney's fees, wife requested an award of attorney's fees and expenses of litigation pursuant of OCGA and other applicable statute. The court hereby denies wife's request for attorney's fees. So ordered this 12th day of September 2024. Simon, we're more focused on that second paragraph that you were intimidating wife and all this other stuff. We believe it all, but at the same time, do we feel sorry for Porsha? On some level, we do. But Porsha, here you are again in a situation with a very interesting personality as a husband. Anyways, Simon also highlights another portion. The judge also denied Guobadia's emergency motions regarding discovery and awarded Williams attorney's fees and expenses of litigation to be paid by Guobadia. He's highlighting this from the article of People magazine, and he's saying that is not true. But is the other part true, Simon? I guess only time will tell. Just let her go. Be her peace by letting her go and letting us be free of you as well. I think he knows as soon as he's separated from Porsha, no one will care about Simon Guobadia.
Hell no.
Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to this legal win, but not so legal win according to Simon Guobadia, in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire.